Today is August 2nd, 2023, and this is MS Evening Session number 1160. And I truly appreciate Harishwara, Pravan and Shivan for keeping on time. Coming exactly by 5:45. I really appreciate that. And I'm literally annoyed with the time taken by Hariharan and Dakshin Siddharth. They are taking a lot of advantage, and I'm not very happy today, so let them come. So Mitra has joined for the reason of her holiday tomorrow. She is a regular weekend attendee, but tomorrow, since it's a holidays, she has joined. And in addition to that, she is going to make a presentation. So without taking any further, Mitra will have her presentation. You want me to hold the board?
Yes, I'm going to present right, but I'm not
No, you present, I will hold. And you tell me when I'm supposed to hold. Bring it here. So now you can start presenting. Mic is okay for you?
Yes, sir.
Alright.
Mic podichukuva sir, wait.
If you can call it, you can call it. No problem.
Rendu ore effect thane sir.
Not call it பண்ணி இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் நல்லா கேக்கும். You can the word is going to
Okay. You almost call pani naan sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Can I start, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. So a warm greetings to all and all present here. Sir, sorry sir, I did not have any time to prepare
I
presentation.
totally understand.
The time I started for preparing was only at 5 sir. Till then I was doing my homework, sir.
The reason I'm giving presentation to these guys are staying home.
Yes, sir.
Harishwara, Dakshin and Hari. It's not the case with you. So
Yes, sir.
anything that Pravan, Shivan, you or Vishwa for that matter prepare is amidst your academic skill. So nothing wrong.
Okay. So a warm greetings to all present here. So today, as you could see this title, it might be just like about 11th and 12th grade. You might have some perceptions like that, like this is how the presentation is going to be. But today I thought that to give this title, I could make a different phase of presentation. To start with, you can see like 4 or 5 points along with this main point. So I will give a brief explanation about why I have framed the title like this 11th and 12th grade and all these. So first,
When you want to explain these 4 points, we will again lift it up.
Yes, sir. So as you can see, the title is 11th and 12th grade and 11th and 12th grade is about an important phase as well as a joyful phase in your life. So your teenage phase starts from around 13 because 13, the word 13 ends with the small letter suffix called teen. So it elongates and it completes 1 day at 19. So your age, that is the span of period between 13 years of age and 19 years of age is going to be called as the teenage phase, and that is going to be an important phase in your life, the joyful phase in your life, as well as you might face a lot of problems and struggles during that time and you learn from those problems. So 11th and 12th grade is one such phase. So you complete your 10th grade, you complete your board exams, you get the result of that and you get enrolled into a new group, because all these 10 or 12 years you have been studying the same stereotype, that is these are the subjects only, these will be the things that you will be studying and the syllabus is already fixed. But when you come to your 11th and 12th grade, you get enrolled into new streams, that is new groups. There are various groups and the syllabus varies from each and every group because the subject varies, so the syllabus varies. So 11th and 12th grade, I would say that this 11th especially, that is between 10th and 12th, this 11th period, that is the 11th grades period would be a joyful phase as well as the happiest phase that you would expect to be. But sometimes it depends on the person's stereotype, that is the person's mindset. So that is why the 4th point I would have named it as the stereotype. So I initially had the thinking that 11th grade will be a joyful phase because it is between 10th and 12th. So that means during your 10th and 12th there are various syllabus, and as well as like one place at some schools they take up this ICSE syllabus and some schools CBSE and some schools state board and so on. So the syllabus varies, and sometimes like some schools based on that syllabus, that particular syllabus, your board exams for the 11th might get declined. That is there will be no 11th board exam for few schools based on that syllabus. So now getting on to this first point, that is your expectation. So today this 11th and 12th grade is now coming to the main point of the presentation. It is about how you are going to handle your 11th and 12th grade. Handling your 10th grade is not a big matter because it's based on your situations, your circumstances, but handling your 11th and 12th grade differs from how you handled your 10th grade previously. So the first case, that is the first point, is your expectations, and there are two cases of people whom you might see or approach. The first set of people is they have a mindset, that is they have an expectation that we have to perform well during our 11th and 12th grade, so that we will get because once you complete your 12th grade you will be facing your second board examination of your life. So during the second board examination you expect yourself to give your best so that you secure good marks and you secure a good seat in a reputed college. Reputed college is a famous college, like that is very famous and that has all the things that you would expect to be. Like reputed college, example, if you go for medical science, like AIIMS, All India Institute of Medical Science, that is the most famous and most important college all over India. That's a reputed one. So reputed things are famous, like famous. Reputed colleges are famous. So the first case of expecting.
Famous, all the same.
Oh, okay.
Either use repeated or famous.
To make them understand, Shivan and Pravan understand, I told famous. So the So the first case is the person expects to get a good seat in a reputed college, but there are second case people also. So those people's mindset will be, if I just study whatever I want and if I just secure a seat in any college, I will be happy enough. Because they just want to complete their degree, get a degree certificate and go for whatever job they desire for. Because those set of people have an aim different from the normal typical aim. Like for a typical person aims or I want to become a doctor, an engineer, or the occupations. In this generation the occupations have increased. But the second case, that is the second set of people always think that they just want to complete their degree and pursue what they are passionate of. Like few people are passionate of various talents, like if you take for singing and dancing, but their parents, their circumstances and their family will not support them. They are not willing or giving the permission to their kids to pursue whatever they want and whatever they are passionate of. So this is the first case, your expectations, because based on your expectation is how your mindset will be in your 11th and 12th grade. For the first case of people, again it is divided into two. Like the first case people is divided into two. First case is nothing but the people who aspire to get a reputed good seat in a reputed college as well as secure good marks in their 12th grade. And at the same time the first case of people are divided into two. Some people do smart thinking, that is smart work, and they do whatever they want and they do not get stressed at all. They do not get pressurized even though there are some peer expectations or parents expectations. But the second group, the first group of the case 1 people, they just think that we have to do smart work as well as do not get pressurized to get a good result. But the second group of the case 1 students, that is the case 1 people, they get pressurized, they get tense and they get stressed, but they want good results to be made. So if you don't get stressed, you will get good marks and good results at the back. So this is about the first point, that is the first step, like your expectations, the first case of people.
Last time I was community president.
The second thing is parents' expectations. So now you might have got an outline of why I have named this 11th and 12th. It is basically about the stress that you will be facing and stress you will be posed to. Like the second thing is both about parents' expectations and as well as your teacher's expectation. Coming to the first case, parents' expectation. They have the same expectations as I mentioned in the first.
Last presentation now. Okay. Whatever you have presented now, based on that, ask each 2 questions to Harish. I have to check if they have understood one, especially children.
Okay.
Like, are they following? Because no problem about Harish, but these 2 kids have got the tendency of not having so much of on-face listen. So ask a question to Shivan because it's been a while since he has attended class. And then you can continue.
So Shivan, so far what did you understand from the first point, like your expectation? The students' expectation. Oh. What is the first point?
Your expectation. There are two cases. The first case is that the students think that they will be brave, they will be good, they will choose their ideas. But in the second case, they will get tense, they will ask only the parents' expectation and they follow them. We also have to give our ideas.
என்ன question கேட்டது? நீங்களே எனக்கு
Okay, you go ahead and then I'll show you the question.
Okay, sir. So the second thing is about parents' expectation, and I have again divided it into three parts. That is parents' expectation, teachers' expectation, and the decision making. This is where I wanted this presentation to be even more powerful. That is this decision making. First one, the parents' expectation. So the parents have the same expectation as I did mention during the first point. That is, they want you to secure good marks, and the most important thing, there is the turning point here is they want you to be better than other people in your family as well as in your school, because they come across various like the news updates every day. They come across various things they hear from their family members and all those, and they want you to stand unique, stand out of the box among these people. They want you to be unique, and they want you to perform even more outstanding than the family members or the peers or whoever they like think about. So that is the second thing about the parents' expectation. Teachers' expectation are those who give you coaching, that is those who teach you. They expect you to perform with the thing that they have taught you, so that they will have proven themselves to the higher authorities. So they as well, there are two sets of teachers again. Some teachers actually think that they have to do something proper, that is which would contribute to the well-being of the student. And there are another set of people who try to give the well-being, try to give the points that are required for the well-being of the student, as well as they try to make the student get pressurized, because they keep continuous tests so that they want the student to perform outsmartly. But the thing that happens is the student starts to lag in portions, and they might get pressurized, which might lead to deterioration in their health. So this is the second thing. And the third is the most important, that is decision making skills. So here is where most of the students are getting affected. That is, I have seen many people even in my school, and also I have heard about various things. That is, the first case in that the decision making skills is the parents want their children to choose a stream, like especially as I am talking about 11th, 12th, the parents during the 11th enrollment, the parents want their children to choose a stream which they expect that they want their children. For example, like few students in my classroom, they actually wanted to pursue first group, that is biology, biomax. It is about science and max. So that is the first group, and they wanted to pursue, and even last year before their 10th board examinations, they were strong that they wanted to pursue, that is take the first stream. But after the board examinations, after the results, even though the results were good enough to take any group that they desire for, they were forced by the parents to take another group, thinking about the job opportunities. Like for example, if you take the first group, you can even switch to the other streams if you want in your future. But the people who wanted to choose the first group, they might have the aim like to become a doctor or pursue various courses related to science. But the parents, what they wanted their children to pursue was a computer science, so that they would get an IT job and high salary and hike in their performance, and also they would get, considering all these things that they might experience in the future, about the things that they might experience in the future, they are thinking about that, and they are forcing the children to take according to their expectations, not to the child's desire. So this is the second thing where the student gets again affected, because they might find the subject difficult and he or she might get stressed. So the third thing is again a small repetition of the first point, that is mindset. So once they are pushed or forced to enroll into a different course or different stream, that person might not be willing to study that subject. If from first group he gets deviated into the second group, which is computer science, they may not be willing to do, and they try to repulse it against their parents. They do not concentrate on their studies, and they just want their parents to realize that what they have done is wrong. So they try to prove to their parents that computer science is a little difficult for that person, and he or she tries to repulse it against the parents. There are only few set of people, like 1 out of 10. Not every person is like that. Only 1 out of 10 rare it happens. Next is stereotype. Again, it's going to be the comparison. Like here it is going to be in student's perspective, not the parent's perspective. Like parents' comparison is common, as I mentioned in the second thing. But students' comparison is happening at many places nowadays. Comparison was not common in the olden days because it was among the parents only. So the students see the other person in their classroom, other students. When they perform good and when they get appreciated, this particular person gets jealous of it, and they want the same reciprocation towards them from the teachers. And they again try. See, why I am mentioning all these points, like you might think that these are repetition of the first and second points. But why I am mentioning this is the case why the students get stressed or pressurized during their studies. When they have continuous stress, when they have all these things in their mind, they will not be able to concentrate in the studies. They get pressurized to come up to that particular expectation. The fourth one is, as I said, stereotype. That is, the student expects that they want to get appreciated by the same person at the same level as the other person receives the appreciation. So that is the fourth one. So I have given all the causes, for the stress and all these things, because when I saw about this particular topic, like many person get stressed and they even try to commit suicide during the time of the result. Once they complete their board examination and once the result day comes, they get even more tense and stressed and nervous, which might affect their health and as well. So the one thing that I realized, for the past week, is even though I have heard this from sir every time, like every 3 or 4 months during the classes, I came to a realization only in the last week, and I thought of posting it in the status as well. See, this particular statement has an emphasis in this main topic, that is what worst will happen. I came to this realization, unfortunately I came to this realization only during the past week.
So you haven't been listening to this?
Sir, it is
The donkey is known for late realization. Okay.
So all I have been saying this for multiple times to various people, and even during the class, I have come to a realization only during the past week, that is what worse will happen. See, this generation gets to know everything. This generation gets to know things even earlier, because during, if you take the older generation, 90s and all, the things that people got to know during their 20 or 30s, that is 30 years of age, this generation people get to know by during the teenage phase itself. That is the disadvantage of this technology. Due to technology, they get to know about things very earlier itself. So that is why we have to think about this, what worse will happen. So for example, if you are getting stressed about your examinations and all those, your pressure, this does not alone apply for this 11th and 12th grade, it also applies for your work phase. Like once you get to a work, and especially in IT fields, and where you are expected to complete a particular task before the deadline. So you naturally get a little stressed when you are not able to complete that big huge project before the deadline. So during the time you ask what worse will happen. Now coming back to this context, that is 11th.
What is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Coming back to this context, that is 11th and 12th grade, again you just ask, when you are getting tense or when you are getting pressurized that you are supposed to give the best out of your performance, just ask what worst will happen, and you will be concluded with few statements, that is few answers. Again ask what worst will happen. Like for example, let's take a scenario that a person is there and that person has a supportive parent, that is the parent has said that just try to do whatever you can, give your best, let's see whatever happens. So the person is getting tensed before that examination, and he or she is asking what worst will happen. The answer that he or she will get is based on their confidence. If that person has studied that particular concept really well, the person has asked, might be I'll be losing some marks. But if the person is only partially very much confirmed with that concept, that person will get an answer that my marks will get low. Then you again ask what worst will happen. If I get low marks, like I have supportive parents, so they will not say anything. What worst will happen? They will advise you to work a little harder for the next test. But the end of this particular question will be very simple and silly as well. So just think about this, what worst will happen for each and every task, for your task during your job opportunities, or even during your interview. When few people are getting stressed or nervous about facing that interview, he or she can use this statement, he or she might get a silly and simple answer at the end of that question. So that is why to give the simple solution, I wanted to give an elaborate explanation, because this topic, like many of us might have faced or might have spoken about this topic, and it would be just a repetition and boring topic, but I wanted to give like just one solution for all these complicated and complex causes, and that's why I presented for this long. So that's it. All of it.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
First question is, all students have expectations on the 12th graduation, but they are not fulfilling. Justify your answers.
And I think again it's going to be pressure now. Like all these, if your syllabus starts around in April or May, because during your 12th grade you might have some special classes, so if it starts during your April and May, like again there are two sets of people who try to study from the beginning itself. Once the topics are taught, they revise it again and again and again. You can also see some vloggers on YouTube doing the day in the life of a 10th grader, undergoing this coaching, that coaching and all those. But those set of people, they are very concentrated and they are very dedicated during the start, during the initial phase. But once this December or the January month comes, because your examination is during your March or February, it varies according to the syllabus. So it takes place during your March, let's say. When that person reaches this December or the January month, that person gets a little tense, which makes him lag in his performance. He might get deteriorated. The health also might get deteriorated as well as his performance. And then their expectation might not be fulfilled once they give up, because they desire to be best, but as they get deteriorated, they start lacking their concentration and the syllabus gets over, and although they are not able to give the best during year 12, but after giving the examination, lamenting about the poor performance would be.
My second question was, in 12th graduation, the person is getting 70 to 88% mark, but in the college he is getting his grades are decreasing because of what?
The person's expectation. Like for example, school. I have heard few people who say college is very much boring. It's same as the school with lots of rules and lots of expectations. But few people say that college is very joyful, and I think I have heard many say that just they would say that just be concentrated for these 2 years, and after 12th your college will be very joyful and happy. That phase, your college phase would be very joyful and happy, but that's not how things are supposed to be taken. Although you are going to enjoy and have fun during the college days, as well as you have to give at least some importance to your studies as you did during a school. They have the same expectations. The expectation is college will be different from school, but college is same as school. You're going to just study the same thing, but you will be having a little more fun. That's where the person gets a little negligent and his grades get a little low now.
My last question. In some of the schools, there's been their strategies keeping the more exams for preparing the public goers. So, what is your suggestion? Is it a good idea or bad?
And I think,
12th, 11th,
and I will say in the middle now, between that is good or bad, medium, because we can say that it is among the perspective. Some people would find it easy. If they give multiple tests and multiple exams, they would get strong in the base.
sorry for What is good? That's what I asked.
Another sorry, medium sorry. So, because I have seen some saying medium, like some students consider that it would be easy to give more tests. If you give multiple tests, you get very strong and your foundation will be very strong. But few people think that keeping continuous tests would be a little boring and as well as irritating. So, if you ask my opinion, I would say middle one, because it is good as well as bad. You would get strong in the basic, in the concept, but at the same time keeping continuous tests might not give you proper test, because at the conclusion or at the expectation of giving your best, you toil your own sleep. You don't sleep properly and all those. So I think middle now. Sir.
So good presentation.
Thank you.
So scientifically, it's shown that in India, like the leap of the syllabus from 10th to 11th is like one of the biggest leaps in any syllabus across the world.
Yes.
So like there'll be no sort of apparent connection between the syllabus that you read in 10th and once you go for grade 11, you will see that everything is new. So have you felt that, and you feel that, how are you trying to cope up with this?
Yes, I definitely agree that I felt that during the initial stage of my 11th grade, because everything was new. It was like the foundation for the 12th grade, but it did not even have a little relation to the 10th grade. It was totally different. Right from the basic like physics means, but right from the basic laws of motion till the like complicated things, it was nowhere related to the 10th grade. So I think I'll have to I have also heard people say your 11th is the UKG for 12th. So I think I have to cope up with it, because concepts are very important. No matter how lengthy that particular chapter is or that concept is, if you understand that concept, or if you just keep it as hints, if you keep the entire concept as hints or mind maps, I think it will it would be very hard for the first 3 months now. Like our school started in June until August, it will be very hard for the first 3 months. But as you start practicing on as you get yourself ready for that particular syllabus or the content for that 2 years, I think it would be easier, and you will make it easy for yourself.
So a continuation.
Okay.
What is your expectation for your 11th grade and 12th grade?
11th graders? What is can you repeat the question?
Your expectations for your 11th grade and 12th grade, not just marks, everything included.
And I consider this 11th and 12th very important for my life, because the only reason why I did not switch to CBSE, although I'm a NEET aspirant, the one reason why I did not switch to CBSE syllabus was this one. That is, your state board syllabus will give an elaborate explanation of all the concepts, while in NCERT, that is in your CBSE books, it would be a concise portion. So I think when you study this elaborate concept, I think NCERT would be very easy for you. So my expectation was for 11th, 12th is all these years you might have been negligent and all those, you might have not been able to study properly due to few circumstances, not always but due to few circumstances. I expect my 11th and 12th grade to benefit me as I expect it to be. Like for the concepts, I have to be very thorough, at least like around 80% thorough with the concept. So my expectation is I should be able to understand that concept, and although it would be tedious and very complicated, I expect it to. My expectation is I need to understand that concept, and the reciprocation that I expect is it should benefit my NEET preparation as well as for my whole life, and it should also give me happiness while studying that particular new concept. Thank you.
Any other questions? One last question. What do you think is the real happiness that an 11th grade and 12th grade student gets, apart from the scoring of marks? Not everybody is scoring great marks, but life moves on. A person gets failed at the worst case. Life moves on, and you have got your previous 10th grade classmates who are not very good at studies. The boys, I don't want to name them, but those boys are elsewhere, studying in the school, and life goes on for them. Why the parents or the society people don't realize this? Like they consider that it is a dead end. The mark, when it is getting low, it is a dead end, and they don't realize. Although in the deeper conscience they have this realization, still they feel that mark is the biggest criteria. And the life will be miserable if the person has got low marks. But it is not the case. From the time immemorial, many people have flunked. Many people have got very, very less marks. But their lives are moving on. 5 years back, a plus 2 student got a very, very less mark. The parent is still alive. The plus 2 student is still alive, even going for a job. So, this myth, why do you think people are crazy about this myth and they don't think beyond? Yes, of course. The fruits of the labor of that particular student is going to be enjoyed. He does the hard work or she does the hard work and she gets a benefit reaped. Or he gets a benefit reaped. Sometimes, because of poor valuation or any other reason, life gets disturbed, but the life moves on. Why do you think the people are staying in this particular skitoma in psychology? It's called as a coma stage thought. And what is your solution?
Sir, it is because of the elders' advice, sir. Like in the olden, if you take just 90s, sir, that is where it was the peak point where it was told that marks are very important, sir. As generations pass, the elder people, that is senior citizens, tell this to the youngsters, sir. Then they pass on to their children and it gets passed on, sir. It is about that transition, sir. So the same myth is still prevailing because during the olden days it prevailed. See, so marks, like this myth is not something like any other myth, sir. Like the other myths in this world, they are either proved by a few people which changes our mindset, that is the stereotype, sir, or the younger generation, that is this teenage and also this youngster, like beyond like 2000, the people who belong to this particular generation, sir, they try to advise the elder people that this is not how we should take things, sir. But this alone, this myth is alone not changing, although like many things or like news updates or the YouTubes and various, although they provide the information that marks are not very important to you. As you said, even people who have got very low marks are still leading a peaceful life. They are not realizing, sir, it is completely because of the elders' mindset, sir. The youngsters, that is the children of like who are facing a board examination, are not able to change because they do not have the power and age to change it, sir. So I think this myth alone is still prevailing, sir.
Fantastic.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.